All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on software testing. We're going to demystify two really big ideas that honestly keep our favorite apps from crashing and burning: black box versus white box testing.
Oh, you know you have. We all have. It's that moment of pure frustration, right? A button doesn't do anything. A page just spins and spins, or the whole thing just dies. That, my friends, is a software bug, and it's the #1 enemy for developers and for us, the users.
So how in the world do you hunt down these annoying little bugs before they get to us? Well, it really boils down to two completely different philosophies. I want you to think of it like this. Are you testing a locked mystery box that you can't see inside? Or are you examining a totally transparent glass box where you can see every single little moving part? That simple idea right there is the key to understanding this whole thing.
Okay, first up, let's try and figure out that mystery box. In the world of software, this approach has a name. It's called black box testing.
And the name pretty much says it all. When you're doing black box testing, you have zero knowledge of what's going on under the hood. You don't know the code, you don't know the architecture, nothing. You're approaching the software completely from the outside, exactly like a normal user would.
And this whole process should feel incredibly familiar because it is exactly what we all do every day. A black box tester gets no access to the source code. They can't peek behind the curtain. Their entire job is to just use the app. They click the buttons, they go through the menus, they fill in the login fields, they put some information in, and they check to see if the right information comes out. It all comes down to one really simple question. From a user's point of view, does it just work?
But of course, this way of doing things has some big trade-offs. The huge advantage? You don't need to be a coding genius to do it, and that gives you a really valuable, unbiased user's perspective. But the downside is also huge. Since you can't see what the code is doing, your tests can only cover so much ground. You're kind of flying blind, just hoping you stumble across a problem. It can be a little inefficient.
So if that's the mystery box, what happens when we can see inside? Let's switch gears and talk about the glass box, or what the pros call white box testing.
And yeah, this is the complete opposite of what we just talked about. White box, or glass box, or open box testing is all about a super detailed investigation of the actual code itself. The tester isn't acting like a user anymore. They're more like a mechanic who has the car's hood wide open and is staring right at the engine. So how does that actually play out? Well, the tester knows the code inside and out. They have full access to the source code, they can read every single line, trace how information moves through the system, and pinpoint the exact little piece of code that's causing trouble. Here, the goal isn't just to see if it works, but to understand how it works and to test as much of that internal plumbing as humanly possible. Now, all that power comes at a pretty steep price. Don't get me wrong, white box testing is incredible for optimizing code and finding those really sneaky hidden bugs a user would never, ever find. But here's the catch. It requires highly skilled testers, which means it's more expensive. On top of that, with any complex piece of software today, it is practically impossible to test every single potential path the code could take. You often need special, complicated tools just to get the job done. Okay, so we've looked at the mystery box, and we've peered inside the glass box. Now let's put them side by side for a little head-to-head showdown.
So, the biggest difference is knowledge, right? Black box knows nothing on the inside, while white box knows everything. And that's why black box is often called functional testing. We're just asking, does it function? While white box is structural testing. Is the internal structure sound? Then you've got time. Black box is way faster. White box is incredibly thorough, but it is definitely time-consuming. All this means black box is perfect for things like testing the user interface, while white box is what you want for checking complex algorithms deep inside the code. So after that whole showdown, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, so which one wins? Which one is actually better? Well, that's kind of the wrong question to ask.
The reality is, these two aren't rivals at all. They're teammates. You absolutely need both of them. See, a really solid application has been tested from the outside and from the inside. Black box testing makes sure the user experience is smooth and makes sense, and white box testing makes sure the foundation, the code itself, is stable and secure. One protects the user, and the other protects the system.
So I'm going to leave you with this thought. The next time an app glitches out on you and you send in a bug report describing what you did and what went wrong, you're not just some frustrated user. In that moment, you're an unofficial but actually very important black box tester. You're a part of the team.